Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our walkthrough of the new INE platform. If you are just joining with us, a couple of quick housekeeping pieces. We are recording this webinar, so in case you miss it or you have to leave, we will have a recording available probably by the end of the day on our social channels. You will get an email with a link to it as well as on our YouTube channel. So feel free to use that going forward in case you have any other questions. Also, if you do have any questions, we do have a Q&A section. Feel free to put any questions you have in there. We will be trying to answer as many as we can during the webinar. If there's a question that we just don't know the answer to, or if it's something that we need to pass on to our development team or somebody else here at INE, what we'll do is we will take those questions, send them off to the appropriate people, and email you back the answers if we can. So once again, put those questions in that Q&A section rather than the chat section. That way we can send them to the appropriate people if we aren't able to get them. So once again, this is just kind of an overview of our platform, kind of going into some of the new features and talking with one of our account executives here. Amy Kennedy will be presenting, and we will go ahead and get started.
Thank you, Brittany. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are joining us from around the world. We are so glad that you were able to take some time out of your day to be here with us. As Brittany said, my name is Amy. I am one of the account executives here at INE. And over the past few years, it's been my pleasure to assist subscribers across the United States and around the globe. So what I am going to try to do today is give you a bit of a tour of the updated platform and library. It looks like roughly about half of those who are joining us today are completely new to INE. So if you are an existing customer, I do apologize. I am going to take a quick tour through everything just so that those who are unfamiliar can take a look at it. So what I am going to do is begin on the new landing page. If you have subscribed with us in the past, you probably noticed that when you were arriving at that members website to log in, it is now redirecting you to the updated my.ine.com. So please do go ahead, update the bookmarks in your browsers because that is the page you are going to be using to log in going forward. You probably also noticed that when you are logging in, you've got a brand new landing page. Things are looking a bit different than they used to in the past. And what's happened here is you are being taken directly into the streaming platform, into the library, as opposed to that old dashboard. I will show you how to find that again. If it's something that you know and love and want to operate from, that's fine as well. But again, just going to give you a bit of a tour so you can find out where everything lives now in this redesigned UI. And without further ado, let's dive right in. So up at the top, you do have a few buttons here. We've got the INE logo, which, by the way, if you are not on this homepage of the library, if you ever click that, it's going to take you back to it. So it's kind of your return to home. We've got the Discover tab. There are a few things that are hiding in here. We've got some learning paths, learning areas, you've got your search function, and then we've got the main menu here, which we will also take a look at a bit later. But just taking a look at the main page, you will see we've got this scrolling marquee that are just going to take you through some of the available courses. You'll see you can jump right into a course. You can add a course to your active courses tab. I will show you how to find all of those things as well. As we scroll down, you will see some of those content or learning areas. Again, you can navigate to those through the Discover drop-down menu or just scroll a little bit down on your screen. You'll see that in each of those, it does give you a count of courses. So as we continue to build out the library, you will see those numbers change. Got to get some friends for this lonely data science guy down here. As you continue to scroll, you've got your popular courses. Now, these are going to be courses that have the most adds to the active courses library. So as users are adding things, you will see that this may change over time, depending on what folks are adding to their active courses list. New courses, this is going to be where new releases are shown. We are still on that weekly release schedule, so this will again change over time. And all of these sections, you can use the arrows to the right and left to navigate. your trending courses. These are just going to be the most viewed in recent history as opposed to the popular, which again, those are the ones that folks are saving. And as you continue to scroll, you'll see that we've done some application of filters so that you can find content within different learning areas, certification pathways, etc. Okay, and then all the way down at the bottom, you can jump back to active courses, bookmarks, your profile. But this button here, feedback, is important because we do still want to have your feedback on the redesigned site. We did an extended beta and obviously appreciate the feedback that was provided to us from those users. But again, always like to hear your suggestions. So make sure that you know that that is there. Okay, so I'm just going to return up to the top and take you into the enhanced search functions. So in the legacy system, the one that some of you were used to seeing, you had a search function as well. We have enhanced that. You can now search by instructor. You can search by vendor, keyword. You can even slightly misspell things and it will still show up for you. So I'm just going to go ahead here and enter a search terms. Let's say that you're trying to find content by Brian McGann. So you start spelling his name and it is going to populate with the courses that he has contributed to within the library. You can apply additional filters once you've started that search. So for example, if you just wanted to find his data center courses, you click that. Okay, and again, you can even filter by difficulty, etc. So you can do all kinds of things with a search there. Okay, if you decide that you want to search by vendor, let's say Amazon, for example. Okay, you'll be able to find the different courses that are available. So again, if you wanted to check out, well, why does Google Cloud pop up when I search for Amazon? You can go in through and you'll see that there is a section that is dedicated to AWS, which is why it shows up in those results. Okay, you do also, I'm going to back up and go back to that primary page here so we can take a look. You actually, I'm going to uncheck this here, can also just take a look at the list of videos that come up when you are searching by vendor. The same is also true if you decide that you want to search by a keyword. Okay, so again, I'm going to return back to that main page. And for example, maybe you need some training on protocols. So you'll see the different courses that address this. It shows again the difficulty level, etc. But you can also dive into a list of videos. Okay, so let's say you're scrolling through and oh, this is what I need to take a look at here. So you just pop in to begin playing that video. Now, what it's going to do again is start that video that you've requested. If you do want to find out, all right, well, this is great information. What course does this appear in? You can just scroll to the top. You'll see it's in our Routing Technologies for Professionals course. You can add that to your active courses. Okay, if, for example, you are watching a video and the instructor says something that's important or you want to be able to easily find, you can add a bookmark with a note. So, for example, I can say this is explanation. It's saved the bookmark. And that will also add this course to your active courses so you can find it easily. So with that said, we'll take a look at some of the controls that you have available during playback. As you can see, of course, this video here is playing, and as I hover over it, you'll find that we have some controls. You can pause and restart your video. You can go back by 10 seconds, rewind, control the audio level. You can see your progress within the title. You see it's an hour and 12 minutes long. We're about a minute in. The bookmark function. You do have the ability as well to cast. Now, this is a air quotes smart system, and it is going to detect what type of browser you're using. I have Chromecast showing up here, but we do also have AirPlay available. And then this setting here, if you click on this, you can control your resolution and your playback speed. Now, the playback speed comes in handy if you are trying to quickly review a topic or technology with which you are already familiar. You can increase the playback speed so it takes up a bit less of your time. You can get it all the way up to 3x, or you can slow it down if necessary in case you're having perhaps difficulty understanding the audio, or again, just want to slow that down for some reason. Okay. You also do have the ability to enter full screen mode. And of course, just press escape to go back to that embedded view. Now, as you are looking at this, okay, you will see that we have the section of the course showing here. This is the total count of videos that are available within that section. Okay, up at the top, when you are looking at the course in general, it'll show you your instructor, what certifications he or she holds, the total duration of the course, the difficulty level, and any course files if they are available. Okay. So I'm going to take you now into this main menu off to the side. Okay, it is a drop down. You can go into view profile, active courses, and bookmarks. Those are all going to take you to the same primary menu, and it looks like this. So if you've saved a course to the active courses tab, this is where it will appear. Now, if, for example, you've completed a course, you don't need to have that in your list anymore, you can simply remove it by clicking the active deactivate button. It is going to make it completely disappear, as you just saw from that list, so use with caution. If you've started the course, it will have, obviously you've got the resume button. It is going to take you right back to where you left off, which is nice. You don't have to go find your progress within that. And of course, the same is true for these bookmarks. It's going to take you to the exact location within that video that you have bookmarked. So for example, I've saved some here. I added a bookmark here because there was an important definition that I didn't want to lose track of. Okay, I have a sample bookmark. Here you can see this is a bookmark made in error. I don't know what happened. Maybe something landed on my keyboard. It's super easy to get rid of that bookmark if you don't need it. Just go ahead and click on the trash can and it will also disappear. So I do want to jump back for a moment into this sidebar menu and just point out that the workbooks, Rack Reynolds, and Legacy dashboard all will pop you into the old system that you might be used to seeing. Again, if you're not new to INE and have subscribed with us before. Okay, within the learning paths, I did want to show you a couple of other items. So we're going to pop into one of those just real quickly. So what we've done with these learning paths, if you had discovered the old curated playlists in the previous library, this is the replacement for those. You will see that I actually had started this path somewhere in the past, and so it's going to allow me to pick up right where I left off. Again, it's got your total duration, it's got your instructors. If you did click on the instructor, it would bring up all of the videos that they've contributed to the library. And as you scroll through this, you'll see that it's got 4 courses within this larger pathway. So off to the side here, this is the total number of videos in this CIP TV1 exam course. You can see I've completed 3 of those. If I click resume, it's going to take me in there, show me which of those videos I have watched. So for those of you who maybe have jumped around, watched some of the videos within a pathway but didn't complete an entire course, the system is going to remember that watch history, and so it will show you if what's already been watched, so you can either skip over it or you can replay it. Okay, so that is handy. And again, that is the replacement for the curated playlist. It's going to be those learning paths. You can get to those again through the Discover tab, just click there. Okay, or if you are in one of the primary page, if you go to networking, you'll also have the ability to get to those learning paths. So for those of you who are hoping to find all of your legacy items, I know that this was a big change, one, to go directly into the library and not see that dashboard, which had the calendar. You can still access that. So from this section, and again, you've got the active courses, bookmarks, and profile all take you into that main menu that we just visited, but workbooks, Rack Reynolds, and Legacy dashboard will take you back to the view that you are perhaps most familiar with in terms of navigation. So all of those same nav buttons are up at the top. So if you wanted to take a look at the workbooks or the rack rentals, you can get there the same way that you used to. That hasn't changed. We still have the calendar there showing new releases, showing the boot camps, webinars. Click on that, you'll get the information. Okay. If you are a team administrator, your team management buttons will still be in the same place. Okay, and again, popping you back into the library again is the All Access Pass. So we have rearranged a little bit how you find things, but it is all still there. Now, I will say that if you are a person who's maybe had some difficulty accessing videos, workbooks, previous courses that you have purchased, please do feel free to reach out to us. You can email support@ine.com, but I will say that it's probably a good idea to do a hard refresh, maybe clear your cache and cookies. Make sure that you're not looking at a stored copy of the web page because that would definitely cause some authentication issues. But again, if you've taken those steps and still can't find your materials or you can't access things, definitely reach out, let us know. We will be more than happy to help. So with that, I think that we have covered most of the areas that we wanted to show you today. I'm going to take a look at some of the questions that we have gotten submitted. So it looks like I saw. Sorry, I'm taking a look at these. Yes, so the apps, thank you for bringing that up, Leonard. Yes, we do have updated apps. They are pending approval. So both the Android and iOS apps are pending approval. We are hoping that that will come through soon, and we appreciate your patience while we work through that. But we do have those pending. So let's see. So maximum number of courses that you can mark as active on your account. I don't know that there is a limit. Again, anytime you add a bookmark note within a video, it's going to automatically add that course to your active courses list. So I don't think that we have a limiter. We will certainly check. If there is a limiter, we will reach out to you and let you know. But that's not something that I am aware of. So what username and password do we use to sign in to my.ine.com? So if you are an existing subscriber or you've had a member account with us in the past, even if you don't have a current active subscription, that information is actually unchanged. So if you need to, you could certainly perform a password reset. If you're not able to reset your password on your own, certainly feel free to reach out to your account manager or just that support@ine.com address, and we will be happy to help you with that. So, so when we search, will it look for a keyword within the course as well? Yes. So if, for example, and I'll just go ahead and use that AWS keyword as well, which I know that that is a topic, but when we go and we take a look at these courses, there's, for example, that Google course that shows up. That's because there is a video section within that that is dedicated to AWS. Now, in terms of just a mentioning phenomenon, the system is not coded to return a result if an instructor says AWS, but there's nothing in the description of either the course or the video that would indicate that particular keyword. Obviously, that would be a massive index, and we want you to have a quick and responsive search function. So do be aware that it is not going to return a result just if somebody has said a word within a particular video. So let's see. So Keith is asking, I have a long drive. Is it possible to download a course audio only? So we do not have that capability presently. This does not have a caching feature or an audio only feature. I do think that that is a nice suggestion. I know that we have lots of folks in regions of the world where they are perhaps taking public transportation to work or even driving in. They've got a long commute. So I will definitely pass that one along to our dev team because I personally like it as a suggestion. So way to go, Keith. Let's see. So So Joe is asking, will we continue to receive new course announcements via email? My understanding, yes, indeed. Those emails will still be going out. So it's not going to be necessary for you to actually scroll the web page to actually find that, or go to the calendar in the legacy dashboard. Of course, you're welcome to do so, but we will continue to email those out to you. Let's see, when will the apps be approved? Gosh, that's up to Apple and Google, sadly. We wish that we had control over that. So let's see, is the Apple OS app updated with the new platform? Yes. So again, all of the apps are being updated. Obviously, you can still, in the meantime, navigate to this my.ine.com on your mobile device using a browser, but we will be updating those apps and they will reflect these changes as well. So will the workbooks and calendar be migrated to the new dashboard? That's a good question. I know that we have maintained those legacy views. I do believe that they will be updated and perhaps more seamlessly integrated, but this, even though we ran a particularly long beta on it, it is still a work in progress. We are still going to be making tweaks and updates based on feedback, and again, just to make things easier for people to find and have a better flow. So I would say stay tuned on that one. So let's see. All right, so the app in offline mode, that's again a question about having caching and offline capabilities. That's definitely a roadmap item, but I don't have an ETA for it. Let's see. So that's a duplicate. Sorry, I'm scrolling through some of these questions here. Let's see. So currently studying for CCNA V2, is that course still available, or does the CCNA V3 cover the topics needed to pass the current exam? I am going to venture a guess. If you're referring to route switch, V3 is the current version. So those are the materials that you should be using. As an aside, we do maintain legacy courses within the library. So it is important to keep in mind that as, Cisco and other vendors update their blueprints, we do still have that legacy material available to you. So you'd want to make sure that you are taking a look at the most recent one. And I apologize if you're referring to a different pathway. That, again, not certain which pathway you're describing, but again, if it's RNS, go for the V3. It will prepare you for those exams. Let's see. So any way to see a monthly use time or screen time? Yes. So I'm going to pop you back into that legacy dashboard. Okay. And I'm going to say yes with an asterisk, because if you are part of a corporate team, so let's say you work for IBM and they have a corporate plan. And so you've logged in through an account that was provided to you by your corporate admin, you are going to be missing this Pass Analytics button. That is only available to individual subscribers, but it does show you your watch history for the month. It shows you which courses you've accessed, how far along you are. By the way, if you are part of the corporate team, your admin can probably see that information for you. So make sure that you are making good use of the resource allocated to you. So let's see. So again, scrolling here. So let's see. So to whom can we submit a request for a course not currently in INE? I would say that you could probably use the feedback button down at the bottom of the website. Certainly feel free to filter those requests through your account manager or executive if you are familiar with who that is. Obviously, if you submit a general question either to info or sales at INE, it will be filtered out to the appropriate point of contact here, and then we can pass that along. But I do like the feedback button for that as well, because that way it's got the most possible number of eyes on it. Let's see. So see, we've got a question about two-factor authentication. So this system is much smarter than the old platform. So I don't know what the status is on the two-factor authentication. I know that was something that they were beginning to roll out in the old platform, but this one is much more sensitive to logins. So I will double check on the status of implementing multi-factor authentication, and we will get back to you on that one. Let's see. So sorry, again, scrolling. Do we have plans for Palo Alto courses? I know that that is something that we have had on the radar. I don't have an ETA on that, but it is something that we have definitely been discussing internally. So certainly stay tuned. If you would like, we can also add you to a notification list that at some point when we add courses in that particular area, we can reach out to you directly. But again, also keep an eye on those new releases because they will show up and we do have those emails there. Is there a maximum number of concurrent logins per user? Yes, 1. So if you've subscribed for an individual all access pass, it is in fact for just 1 user, yourself. So it is a violation of our end user license agreement to share that login with anyone else. The system is smart. We'll see those multiple logins. It will kick you out. And what will happen is that the security and compliance team will restrict your access. So make sure that you are guarding your credentials simply because we don't want folks getting into your account. They could be, not extending your all access pass from within the managed passes section, depending on how you've signed up. But yeah, that's an important question. So thank you for bringing that one up. So can a course completion certificate be produced for continuing education credits? So you absolutely can email our team and we can put that together for you. We would need you to supply to us whatever details you're going to need for that certificate. I know that it varies by sometimes employer and region, depending on where in the world you are, but just let us know what you need and our customer support staff can take care of that for you. So let's see. So this is kind of an overlapping question. Will the app allow you to download a course to view without using your cell data or having a, I'm adding to the question here, adding to like using your mobile connection to a data connection. So presently, no, there is not a caching feature within the app. Again, that is definitely something that I know personally I've had conversations with the dev team about, and I believe that that is something that we want to implement, but in this first generation of the updated app, that is not going to be available. So let's see. All right, so James has a question. Will completed INE courses automatically show up in our VZ Learn learning history? That's a question that frankly I can't answer because I apologize. I'm not familiar with VZ Learn. So James, if you can, or Brittany, if you can save that contact information so that we can follow up with James, that would be great. Let's see. Richard, I see your question. So I am also going to have someone follow up with you directly on that one because I wanted to dig in and see if we can find that and make it easier for you to locate. So again, Brittany, that's Richard, if you can just save his information as well. So let's see. It looks like most of the questions that I see posted have been answered. So let's see. Is there a link to the end user license agreement and terms on the new site? It would be on the main site of INE.com. It is down at the bottom, and we certainly are happy to send that to you. Also, when you are enrolling, there is within that enrollment page that you are agreeing to the terms of service. So there is a link that will pop you out to those as well. But it looks like we have basically covered all of the questions. So with that, we will go ahead and wrap up the webinar. Again, stay tuned. There will be, again, some adjustments, tweaks, updates. Please do submit your feedback. Again, that feedback button is at the very bottom of the library. So that is what you're seeing when you first log in. It is so important for us to hear from you. So we really appreciate anything that you can submit to us. In addition to the questions that you have posted, again, Brittany is saving contact information and questions so that we can follow up with you individually. But we so appreciate your time today. And I am going to wrap this up and we'll be good to go. So thanks again.
Thank you so much, Amy. Once again, this is being recorded, so you will have a copy of this sent to your email address that you used to register for the webinar in case you missed anything or want to go back to something. We will be doing a couple more of these webinars as changes come to the new platform. We're definitely not done with everything. We're taking all of these suggestions, sending them to the appropriate teams, making sure people know kind of what you guys are looking for in a perfect INE platform. So as we make more changes, we will probably be doing more of these webinars. So be sure to keep an eye out. You can kind of see whenever we're going to be doing them by following us on our social media channels, INE on Facebook, Twitter, as well as LinkedIn and Reddit. As well as going to our main page, INE.com. We'll always have kind of announcements there as well. And then also joining our email group. So if you're not already joined, there is, I believe, a spot where you can sign up for emails back on INE.com, not on the My INE platform, because typically at that point you're already in the system. But at INE.com, there's a kind of want to hear from us section where you'll get information about upcoming promotions, as well as new course announcements. That's how you get on that new course list as well. Or if you just have any other questions at all. That's typically the best place to kind of get those answers. We send out a couple emails a week just of important information for you guys. Once again, this is being recorded. If you have any questions that weren't answered, if you were able to write them in the Q&A section, I will be sending those off to the appropriate people. If you didn't have time or you just think of something after this webinar ends, feel free to send us that question via the feedback button on the My INE platform, or feel free to send it to us via marketing@INE.com. That will go directly to me, and I can make sure that gets to the correct person. Once again, that's marketing@INE.com. Same, you could also do info@INE.com. I would just do, if you do that, be sure to mention that you were in the webinar. That way it gets to me as well. Once again, thank you so much for attending, and thank you, Amy, for giving us a nice walkthrough of the new platform. Everyone have a great day.